The woman who killed my dog told me that it would take me a month for every year I had had my dog before I was ready for a new dog, which was a very weird thing for a pet assassin to say. But I guess she threw it in as a free service because I had hired her to kill my dog. I actually think it's cooler to say that I had my dog assassinated than to say I had her put down. Sorry, kids, we put a contract out on Buddy.
But why?
Well, he's old and sick.
But Grandma's old and sick.
Well, then, Grandma should be sure not to, poop and pee on my carpet. So I put a contract out on my dog. Her name was Ossifer. That's not really relevant yet, but I'm going to tell you anyway. The assassin's name was Marcia. Sorry, Vet Tech. She was pretty good. I gave her a good review on Google. Dog dead. Definitely didn't see it coming. 4 out of 5 stars. I paid $260, which was probably more than I needed to, but you know, you don't get a discount assassin. You have to pay for quality work. Anyway, so she says to me that the math equation for figuring out how long it's going to be until you're ready for a new dog is 1 month for every year you had that dog. And, you know, she told me this while my old dog was still warm in the other room, which seemed a little icy, so now you know why she didn't get 5 stars. But the thing that no one likes to talk about is that moment when you leave your house with a pet and you come home to a house without a pet, and she's not there to greet you, and she's not with you. I promise most of this will be funny, but that moment is inevitable. It's weird because you don't know your home is alive until your dog dies. And then you realize that actually your dog was your home, and now you just have a house.
One eternity later.
Well, I started cat calling, dog calling, dog calling. I basically started slowing my car down when I saw someone walking a cute dog on the street and yelling at them, "Hey, baby, look at the way that puppy jiggles. What's a girl got to do to get some of that fluff?" Can I explain to you that no one walking a dog expects a middle-aged woman to roll up in a minivan and just start yelling compliments at their Maltipoo? I mean, I live in a friendly place, so people were nice about it, but they did make sure that I knew it was weird. It happened a lot. Different dogs all over town. It was problematic because sometimes people thought I was talking about them, and then when they realized I actually said their Weimaraner had nice haunches, it was disappointing. Anyway, this is all to say that I was not in my right mind, which is how I accidentally bought a very, very, very small dog. Now, before I continue, I need to say that no one is more disappointed than me that I own a small dog. A large dog comes with some dignity. It has some gravitas. It says, I am a serious person with a serious pet. A pet that might be dangerous to intruders and men with bad intentions. Ossifer had dignity, 70 pounds of dignity. But it was COVID. And like everyone who maybe didn't make good decisions during COVID, I ordered a dog off of the internet because I could. Also, I was starting to get calls from my HOA about scaring the normies who thought I was going to start stealing dogs. So I ordered what was supposed to be a dog that would eventually be 8 pounds over the internet. Now, hold on. Before I continue, I do want to say that we need a new word for small dogs because dog is clearly the wrong one. Dog should be reserved for animals over 12 pounds. I actually think that it's the origin of the friction between real dog owners and people who own doglets. Because when I say dog, you never imagine something that could credibly be picked up by a hawk and eaten by a nest of hungry baby birds, which is a real threat that I contend with every day with the dog-like animal that I bought. I feel like the second I said I had a small dog, everyone read me and knew exactly what this dog looks like. I wish I had big dog energy. I wish people looked at me and were like, that woman owns a retriever that works as a hospital therapy dog. But I know you took one look at me and you know exactly what this dog looks like. Orange, curly hair, bony, nervous, shakes a lot. Yes, he's a poodle. Of course he's a poodle. No one looks at me and thinks anything other than poodle. At best, someone looks at me and thinks, I wonder what kind of poodle that bony, nervous woman has. And the answer is small. He's very, very, very small. He weighs 4 pounds and 12 ounces. And yes, I am going to Say those ounces because they are important ounces. When you buy a small dog, and you've never owned a small dog, the vet's office performs a service for you that I like to call, "Here's how your dog could die." This is because all of the normal ones, onions, garlic, grapes, hit by a car, job in a science lab, you know those already. But when you buy a doglet, there's a brand new world to explore of all the ways your dog could perish. First thing, death from above. She tells me about a couple that took their Bichon on a camping trip to a lake. One morning they were watching the eagles swoop down to pull the fish out of the lake when one of them swoops down and grabs little Frizzy. And as the eagle takes their pet into the sky, the wife yells at the husband to do something, and the husband waves. No, that is funny and tragic, which is my favorite flavor of funny. Little dogs die horribly. Golf clubs. Golf clubs are a real danger. Man of the house practicing his swing. Dog comes up behind him, catches the backswing, hits the wall, hits the floor. They get sat on a lot. Big people, little dog, bad combo. Apparently, refrigerators are a hazard. They stick their heads between the door and the box. Someone opens the door too hard, and of course they get stepped on, kicked, all that stuff because they're so small. They don't make a sound. It shouldn't surprise you that the person who told me all of this was Marcia, the assassin. She enjoyed it, maybe a little too much. 4 out of 5 stars. Regardless, I do think that years to month calculation was pretty good. She didn't tell me if there was an equation for how long it would take me to recover if my doglet is absconded by a bald eagle. Not sure what that calculus would be. If you're still here, thank you. And if you liked this, send it to your friend with a dead pet. And follow me for more of whatever this is.